Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show. Thank you so much for tuning in at this late hour. I was going to do it around 5 p.m. Eastern today. I had some technical difficulties, and so I'm glad I was able to work through those so that I could be here with you tonight. Tonight's topic is what you don't know about coaching can cost you thousands of dollars. Yeah, thousands of dollars. That's a lot, right? So, I want to take a minute and welcome you to the show officially. This is the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Yes, I am Wendy Y. Bailey. Everyone calls me Wendy Y. I am a 20-year veteran business and sales coach. I'm known as your income acceleration mentor. And over the next several days, I'm excited to introduce you to a new program I created. I'm the creator of the Certified Income Acceleration Coach Program. Yeah, I'm going to be telling you a little bit about that, but I really want to invite you to participate in a masterclass series that I'm going to be hosting in January. And the content that I'm sharing between now and January is really a prelude to what you're going to hear, what you're going to experience, what you're going to grow and learn in terms of the training that I'm offering in the masterclass series. So be sure that if you're here, I'm broadcasting live on YouTube, on my Facebook profile, my Facebook page, my two of my Facebook groups, and on LinkedIn. So I'm a lot of everywhere. So if you need to grant StreamYard permission, be sure that you do that so that I can see who you are when you comment, and I can also respond to you by name. If you can't do that, it's okay. I'm going back after this to all the platforms and kind of see where you are. Wherever you are, if you're on LinkedIn, be sure that we connect. Send me an invitation. If you're on Facebook, be sure that you follow me. You send me a friend request. There's so many ways that we can stay in touch, and I want this to be a way that we stay in touch. If you're on YouTube, I have two YouTube channels. You can also subscribe. Remember that if you subscribe on YouTube, what happens is if you don't watch at least 5 minutes of video content on that channel, YouTube views that as spam, so your subscription doesn't last. So be sure that you watch at least 5 minutes of any video that you want to follow the channel. You want to subscribe to the channel because that's the way that you are officially subscribed. So go to Profitable Coaching Conversations on YouTube. You can follow me, Wendy Y. Bailey, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. There are a lot of ways for us to stay connected. I'm also on Instagram, and as soon as I figure out how to do a dual duty with Instagram and all this other StreamYard stuff, I'm going to do that as well. The Profitable Coaching Conversation Show is something I created a little more than 2 years ago now. And I wanted to have a place where I could regularly train people. I could also bring really great experts to talk about sales and marketing and entrepreneurship and business and small business and everything therein. And I've had some amazing guests, and I've also shared some amazing content just by myself. And what I wanted to do, coming back from this hiatus, I started yesterday, and you should be able going forward to see me Monday through Thursday, this week and next week, and then the following week at 5 p.m. Eastern. 5 p.m. Eastern. So you can mark your calendar for that. But what I wanted to do, starting back from our hiatus on, Monday, which was yesterday, I wanted to make sure that I brought some content that was thought provoking, that, I'll have plenty of opportunities to showcase some of the experts, but I'm excited that I actually get to share some content, some fresh content with you. Excuse me, getting over a little bit of congestion, but I feel fine. So yesterday's topic was the three huge mistakes that coaches make. Excuse me. And because I talked about the three huge mistakes, there's so many of them, but I wanted to categorize them. So be sure that you catch the replay from yesterday. Remember, if you're here and you're joining me, I see people are starting to pop on now. Be sure that let me know who you are, because I'll be looking so that I can, call you out in the comments. If you're catching the replay, be sure that you type hashtag replay in the comment section so that I know that you were here and I can respond to any questions that, for whatever reason, if you weren't able to ask your questions while I'm live, you can post your questions and I can go back to those platforms and respond to your questions. Okay. I want to make sure that you also know that if you're not a member of my private Facebook community, you can join my private Facebook community at profitablecoachingsociety.com. That's profitablecoachingsociety.com. You can go there, profitablecoachingsociety.com, join my private Facebook community. I'm starting to plug back in and beef up my interaction and engagement in that group. So you're very likely, when you go to my Facebook group, to begin to see the videos there. Definitely, the content that will help you as a coach. With more than 20 years of experience in the coaching industry, I've seen a lot, I know a lot, and what I've come to understand is there are a lot of places where you can support people, right? If you're a coach, you can support people, but you also want to know that as you're supporting people, that you've got the right way of thinking about how you support the clients you serve as a coach. So when I came up with the notion for profitable coaching conversations, I wanted to make sure that there was a platform for people to share their expertise. I wanted to make sure there was a platform for coaches to come and get real coach training, not fluff, but really hardcore training that can help you shape and mold your business into the type of coaching business that you want to serve in. So the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show is designed to do just that, right? When I came back from hiatus, I said this before, but when I came back from hiatus starting yesterday, I knew that I wanted it to be even some higher level, but deeper content, deeper teaching. And so today's topic, what you don't know about coaching can cost you thousands, is actually, again, a preview for an upcoming series that I'm going to tell you a little bit about later in this broadcast. So the things that can cost you thousands that you need to know that you may not know right now. The first thing I'm going to say is, if you have not sat down and taken stock of what you offer in terms of value, it can cost you a lot. It can cost you a lot because you undervalue your services, you undervalue your capabilities, which means you undercharge for what you offer in the marketplace. That's what a big one. If you don't understand the value you're bringing, if you have an inventory, what brings you to coaching and what makes you a really great coach for your clients, you're missing out on the opportunity to set your fees at a higher level, to set fees that really represent what you deserve to be compensated for the value you're bringing. And let me just say, very clearly for me, it took me a while to get to that space where I understood my value. Based on understanding my value, I started setting my fees appropriately, you know. And the bottom line for how you recognize your value, how you inventory what you're good at, what you know, you know in your coaching, in your expertise, in your capabilities, is directly related to your mindset. It's directly related to your mindset. So if you're someone who wants to earn more money, then invest in things that will fuel your mindset. Okay. Invest in things that will help elevate your thinking, that will help you recognize the value that you're bringing. I even have a whole program, right, called Predictable Coaching Income. And we talk about pricing. We talk about how you set your fees. We talk about how you start to inventory your value. I have a whole proprietary process that I walk people through in that program, and it's designed to help them recognize the value. When you, and a colleague of mine says it this way, Go where you are celebrated, not tolerated. Then you will be appreciated and compensated. I love that. Every time he says that, I'm just like, yes, I love it because it's true. The more you recognize the value you bring, again, it's that inventory again of what you're bringing to coaching, right? The more you recognize that value, the more you're able to say, I deserve to be compensated in this way. And these are the most ideal clients who are ready, willing, and able to pay me at that level. Okay. That's the beauty of knowing your value. It sounds like it's simple, but let me tell you guys, it's really a whole mindset shift that you get into when you start thinking about your value, when you start understanding what you're really being in the space of coaching. It can really make a difference in how you structure your programs, how much time you give, what kind of support you offer in the way of coaching. Again, what type of programs you create, whether it's hybrid programs that includes group and individual coaching, where you're doing masterminding. It really depends, even in terms of how you think of your most ideal client. I was working with a client. This is last year. I was working with this client, and one of the things that she said to me was, I've never served clients at this level, so I'm not sure that I'm really qualified to do that. Well, let me just say this, without divulging too much of this client, the thing that the thing that coaching will tell you is you don't have to have done exactly what that client is trying to accomplish in order to serve them. I know colleagues who coach doctors, but they've never gone to med school. They've never been in surgery where they were performing the surgery. It's not about you having done what the person wants to go through. It's about your ability to take that client and shape and mold them with your coaching and guide them to the path that they're seeking, to help them realize the vision, to help them achieve the dreams and goals that they aspire to, right? So it's not that you have to have done exactly what they do. But here's the thing, when you start by taking inventory of your gifts, your talents, your skills, your capabilities, the things that you do, all of a sudden you understand from a mindset perspective, you understand how you can then go out and use your gifts, your strengths, your talents, your abilities, your capabilities to serve your clients in a huge way. So recognizing your value can cost you thousands of dollars, or it can earn you thousands of dollars because you understand what you deserve to be compensated for, the level you deserve to be compensated at by your ideal clients. It also helps you elevate your ideal client. I was talking to a client earlier, and one of the things we started talking about was her ideal client. And as we started talking about her ideal client, and this isn't the first time, I see it over and over and over again, as we started looking at the characteristics of her ideal client, what she discovered, and it was a huge shift for her, was that the ideal client that she had been serving, the ideal client that she had been focused on, was really not in the position to invest in her at the level she wanted the client to invest in her. So we started recalculating and recalibrating. And before we concluded our session, she was very, very clear, like very, very clear. Hey, Holly Reed. She was very, very clear that it wasn't, she had been playing small, right? She had been looking at some of the things that she has served people in, but it put her in a hunt mode versus a hunted mode. That's the difference between serving an ideal client who has what you need and want, they have what they need and want to make the investment in you, right? That's the difference. You become the hunted versus the hunter. When you're looking for clients, you're scoping people out, trying to find the people that want to hire you. That's not what I teach. That's not what I train. That's not how I coach my clients. I believe that it is your job to recognize what you bring in the marketplace and showcase that in the marketplace so that you can attract your most ideal clients based on your content, based on, your results, based on your outcomes. I'm really, really good, and I haven't always been this way, but I'm really, really good at talking to clients that I've worked with in the past and having them hire me again. It's because they know they're going to get results. They know they're going to have the desired outcomes in working with me. They know that the strategies we talk about work, right? And you, as a coach, want to be the same way. You've got to recognize the value you bring. So, do an inventory. If you haven't done it lately, it's a great time at the end of this year to look at what you do, right? What do you do well? What are your special talents? And think about the clients that you've served and the sound bites of the service you've given your clients. So, what are your clients saying about you? Are they saying, I gain clarity? Are they saying, it's always productive? What are they saying about you? It's always great value. Whatever those words are that your client is using can help you get on the right path. Now, let me say this about, mindset being at the root of you recognizing your value. There's a ring that I wear, and people who have seen me get my nails done, they need to be done right now, but I'm not worried about that. I'm not going to show you. This is my I am enough ring. This is my I am enough ring. Sometimes it's turned so that I can see it because, I might be having a tough day. And sometimes it's turned so other people recognize it. And to me, that's energetic more than I want people to look at my ring. It's symbolic to me. Whatever you need to do to stay in the right mindset so that it serves and supports you, that's what I recommend that you do. Whatever those things are. This little ring helps me some days. Okay. And you want to be in a situation where you're feeding and fueling your mindset so that you're always recognizing the value you bring to any and every situation. When you recognize your value, and this is getting into my second point, when you recognize your value, it also helps you create healthy boundaries. Okay. Healthy boundaries are necessary if you want to elevate your mindset, or necessary if you want to accelerate your income. When you have healthy boundaries, it means that you understand where the line between you and your client and you and a friend ends and begins. Because sometimes you connect chemistry wise with the client, and when you connect that way, it's easy for you to kind of forget they're a client, they're not your friend, right? Because at all times when you're coaching someone, it is your job to always see the periphery. You get to take a look at that, because your client in your coaching should not have to keep an eye on that because they've hired you. Okay. We as coaches talk about holding the space, holding the space. That's what I'm talking about. But when I talk about holding the space, it's also about recognizing the boundaries, recognizing what those boundaries mean and honoring those boundaries, not just for your client, but for you, and how you can support your client and how you serve your client. So, the first thing I want to talk about, like I said, is value, and you recognizing the value you bring. And then the second thing I talked about was boundaries. I didn't go into boundaries a lot. Just make sure that you understand where your boundaries are. I remember there was a time in my coaching business that, because I had such great connection with my clients, I would invite them to, if I was having something personal, like an art show, or, a party and things like that. Well, you do what you want to do. But what I learned was there were clients that I invited to those, and they would take that as opportunities for me to coach them. And I was like, no, but that's not who I am to you right now. We're at this art party. We're at this party where, it's social. It's not about, coaching. So you've got to be the one to observe the boundaries and make sure that you do that with your clients. Okay. Things for you to know. And what happens is, when you know your mission, your vision, your values, your guiding principles, what happens is it positions you to make sure you're taking care of yourself first. Okay. It positions you to make sure you're taking care of yourself first. And let me just be clear, no matter if you're a coach, a speaker, a trainer, an entrepreneur, a mom, a dad, it doesn't matter. Okay. You've got to be the one observing the flight safety instructions. That's really what it is. You know, they tell you when you're flying, if someone you're traveling with is incapacitated and the pressure in the cabin drops, put the mask on yourself first. That's all I'm saying. Take care of yourself first so that you are able to support and serve your clients. If you don't take care of yourself, you're going to burn out quickly. You're going to, crash and burn. It's not going to be pretty. So making sure you have a mission, vision, values, or guiding principles is important. And let me say more about the mission part. A few years ago, I had the occasion to have a one-on-one coaching session with a top 5 global coach, right? And one of the first things he said to me was, "What's your mission statement?" I couldn't rattle it off for him. I didn't know. Like, I knew it was something I had put on my website. I couldn't tell him what it was. And he was like, "Okay, you need to work on that." And so I want to tell you, if you have not, going into 2023, sat down and decided what your mission statement is, take a minute and do that. Take some time, invest the energy in doing that, because it will carry you far in how you operate in life and in business. Okay. I'm clear right now, my mission statement. I couldn't rattle it off back then, but I can rattle it off now. I also want you to recognize the vision you may have for your life and for your business. What's your vision? It's tied to your mission. So recognize your mission statement and the vision you have for your life, for your business. And they may be one and the same, or they may be different, right? Just be sure that you have clarity about your vision, okay? Your mission. And then your values are your guiding principles are those tenets that you operate your business by, that you live by. Okay. When you recognize what they are, then it makes a difference in how you decide to do things in your business. Case in point, one of my guiding principles or values is integrity. So I've got to make sure that as I'm working with somebody, that I'm always showing up in integrity. And I know that that's something I value from the people with whom I work. Whether it's a coaching client or a vendor or a service provider, integrity is really, really important to me. Communication is a big value and guiding principle for me. That means that if something happens, things don't always go right, but you've got to be able to communicate with me, because it's one of my principles, right? It's one of my values. I want you to be willing to communicate with me so that we can move through whatever it is. Okay. A couple of years ago, last year, I had a team building out a website for me. And in the process of making some of the updates, they broke my whole website. And I was like, okay, what happened? And let me tell you, the challenging part for me was that I discovered it was broken. They did not inform me. So they knew they had broken my website. Okay. And because they knew and didn't tell me, that's what gave me pause in working with them again in the future. They finished out the job, you know, they concluded the work, and I was like, okay, this is it, you know, because that communication piece wasn't there. One of my other values is excellence. That means that I always want to strive for excellence in service, in, product deliverables, in everything that I do. Excellence is the goal. Perfection is not the goal. Excellence is. And there's a way to go through what you do in excellence without feeling like you're tied to, hey Thesha, it not feeling like you're tied to perfection. Excellence is really good, okay? And perfection is, you can't hit perfection. Like I tell people all the time, perfection is not the target, excellence is. Done is better than perfect, because done means that you can get to excellence. So, thinking about those three things: mission, vision, and values or guiding principles. You got to know those things, because they really do govern how you show up in your business, right? First, you want to have some clarity about how you show up in life, and then it extends to business. These people who come to me sometimes and they say, oh, well, I do this for business, but I don't do it for my personal life. Well, they should not be separate. Like, I understand you may have business related things and you may have personal related things, but when the rubber meets the road, I was getting ready to say something else, but when it really comes to how you show up in life, that same level of integrity, service, excellence, communication should extend into your business. It shouldn't be something you do just for business or just for personal. I just can't blur those lines. You know what I mean? So that's not, I don't teach blur the lines and you can do this here and that there. I teach you are a whole person, and your whole person speaks to who you are as a person, as well as how you show up as a person in your business. Okay. So those are the two things so far. The third thing I want to talk about, and let me back up and say, this can cost you thousands of dollars because you will engage in activities working with people who are not in alignment with you if you don't have a mission, vision, and values or guiding principles. You're going to work with anybody and you're not going to get the kind of results that you want. Okay. So you got to know those things. The last thing, there are a couple of other things, but I want to talk about this one last thing. I won't get into the fourth one that I have in mind. The one last thing I want to talk to you about that you must know, that you must know. I can't emphasize this enough. You must know your numbers. You must know your numbers. One of my colleagues says it's not magic, it's not math, it's math. It's not magic, it's math. That's Lori Granito who says that. And I love it because she's like, yeah, it's all about numbers. That means you've got to know your income and revenue goals. You've got to know your program and package fees. You've got to understand your KPIs or key performance indicators. You've got to know the metrics. You've got to know your numbers, because when you know your numbers, then you can begin to adjust your numbers, your tactics. You can begin to think differently about how you achieve your goals. You can adapt strategies and things like that, but you've got to know your numbers. If you're not watching your numbers, you're going to end up in some serious pain. Okay. Not knowing your numbers is like trying to meet a goal and you don't know how to get there. Numbers help you actually track to your goals. Numbers help you. I call them metrics, right? When you understand metrics, then you can adjust your tactics based on what you're seeing in your metrics. And here's an example of what I'm talking about. The first day of every month, I have a 60 to 90-minute session with myself. Excuse me. And I call it month in review. And what I do is I have this Excel spreadsheet, and it has all of my social media platforms. It has my website information. It has a whole lot of stuff in it, right? And I literally go and I pull numbers from those spaces so that I can look at sort of where I was last month and what happened this month. I can look at certain dates when I was promoting or marketing something or there was something going on. I can always see what I need to do. One of the ones that I always love to look at is my subscribers on YouTube and the most watched videos, because that tells me on this particular channel, Profitable Coaching Society, it tells me, I'm sorry, Profitable Coaching Conversations, it tells me what topics are of great interest to my subscribers. It tells me what people are Googling on, and it's taking them to my YouTube videos. So it's really helpful to have those numbers so that you can track to content and you can adapt and adopt certain strategies and content that are really, really going to help you. So that's the last thing I want to say is I want to tell you about making sure you have your numbers, that you know your numbers. When you know your numbers, then what it means is you can really be in the space and place where you are adjusting, you're bobbing and weaving, you're adapting and doing things that will continue to help you move forward. So I told you that I was going to tell you about complimentary masterclass series that I'm doing. It's called the Coach Elevation Blueprint. It's coming up in January. So be sure to go to elevatewithwendy.com. That's elevatewithwendy.com. It's entirely complimentary. I'm going to be doing some really powerful content. What you need to know is one of those, right? And I'm going to be telling you about more of the must knows that you want to have. I'm also going to be giving you a deeper dive on what you must know. I'm also going to be giving you a deeper dive into what you must do and what you must, how you must behave, right, to really elevate in your coaching business. It's all new content. It's all new content, and I would love to see you and support you as a attendee in that masterclass series. It starts in January. You still have time to register, but go ahead and register as soon as possible so that you can start to get some of the goodies that I have. I do have a goodie that I've outlined that I'm going to give you. It is, gosh, I can't remember what it was. I have so many goodies, but make sure that you go to elevatewithwendy.com and sign up for this complimentary masterclass series. Again, it's chock full of really, really great content. It's chock full of actionable resources and content that will help you to grow your business, elevate your business, accelerate your business in 2023. My whole thing is when you elevate your mindset, then you can accelerate your income. And what happens is you streamline your success. You streamline your success. So I'll be back tomorrow, and I'm looking at the people who have been popping in and out and, saying hello and all that good stuff. I may actually move it to 7 p.m. because I see more people are popping in. But for now, tomorrow, barring no, hiccups, I'll be back at 5 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow's topic, let me go get it so I can tell you from a place that makes sense. Tomorrow's topic is what you need to do to scale your coaching business. Scale is one of those trendy things. And basically, my opinion about it is scale just means you're preparing your business for growth. Okay. That means you looked at some things and you know what it's going to take to scale. And so you've shored up whatever those areas are. So tomorrow and Thursday, I'm going to be talking about what you need to do to scale your coaching business. It's a really meaty topic. So I'm giving it 2 days. I'm going to give you 3 things tomorrow. I'm going to give you 3 things on Thursday. But I really would love to see you sign up for the masterclass at elevatewithwendy.com. So if you're here and you had questions along the way, be sure that you ask your questions, whatever platform you're on. I'm going to be going back on all of the platforms. I told you I'm on YouTube, Wendy Y. Bailey, YouTube, Profitable Coaching Conversations. I'm on Facebook, my profile, Facebook, my page, 2 of my Facebook groups. And I'm also on LinkedIn. So I'm broadcasting in all of these places, and I'm going to look at all of these comments to make sure that if you have any questions, that I make myself available and I will respond to your questions. Thanks so much, everybody, for being here, and I will see you tomorrow when we start talking about how to scale your coaching business. Thanks, everybody. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.